Hey there, Mr. Mayo here. Today I'm going to talk about talent versus work ethic. This is one of those topics that I'm pretty passionate about. I believe that one of the most overused phrases said to people within the arts community is, "You're so talented." It never fails that musicians hear it after a performance, and while the person might actually mean well, it undermines the work that the musician or artist has done. They put countless hours into their craft. We often see in the music classroom students saying someone's more talented than them. This is really just an excuse. A lot of people have a tendency to look for something or someone to put blame on when things don't go exactly their way and someone else is performing at a higher level. They try to say that something wasn't fair or that someone has an advantage because of their talent. Because of our culture, it's a tendency to always want to be the best, but many of the people just don't put in the time to be the best and resort to excuses instead. What people fail to see is the amount of time that the talented students put in. They consistently practice in a meaningful way. The practice sessions are structured and well thought out. The students saying that someone is more talented than them are just making excuses. Excuses don't lead to growth. You know what does? Work. The honest truth is that people who are most successful in music, regardless of age, worry less about what other people think about them and boasting about their success. They're too busy trying to learn and better themselves than to get distracted by negativity. You have to understand that you can control you, which is where positivity comes in. The top musicians, educators, and people tend to focus on building themselves up and building others up instead of tearing them down. This builds a stronger community. The people that have a tendency to try to tear down other individuals saying something wasn't fair or that they're more talented and just making excuses don't realize that what they're usually doing is actually motivating the talented individual to practice more and get even better. This is because of the mindset that these people have. They have a growth mindset. The idea of a growth mindset comes from Carol Dweck's book entitled Mindset. It's a fantastic read. I'm not going to go too far into detail, but what is important is that there are two mindsets out there, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. The fixed mindset is the idea that you're either good at something or you're not. People with a fixed mindset tend to give up easy, accept failure, avoid difficult situations, and they tend not to do so well when someone else has more success than them. On the flip side, the growth mindset individuals believe you can get better by not giving up, admitting that you don't know everything, asking others for help, accepting difficult tasks, and they're more motivated when they see others have success. You have to be open and vulnerable in order to grow. You have to accept that you are not and will not be the very best at absolutely everything. People with a growth mindset tend to be more successful just because they have a better outlook. So research has shown in the argument of talent versus work ethic that musical experience and training is the greatest influence on someone's ability to benefit from practice. The key to that statement is practice. You have to practice in order to succeed. Specifically, you have to practice with a method known as deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is highly structured and goal-driven. It focuses on identifying and correcting errors and weaknesses. Another thing that these talented students who are actually just hardworking hear is things like, "I bet you practice this many hours a day." And they'll say things like 3, 4, 5, 10, something ridiculous like that. It's not that, it's that they organize their time. They're structured because they know how to practice. They make use of the time they have, consistently practice every day, and are smart about the methods they use. These methods usually consist of many of the techniques we've also talked about in the previous videos. There's no secret method, there's no cheat, there is no talent giving them a tremendous advantage. It's just that they are smart about how they've structured and they're consistent about it every single day. So it comes down to hard work and being motivated. Want to be more motivated to practice? Set goals, set a specific time every day to practice, focus on getting the job done instead of putting in a certain amount of time, have a growth mindset, and look at the small gains you have every day. Most importantly, don't make excuses. The people who are most successful are the ones who, even when they don't want to, put their tail to work in an organized way. They understand that each day you have to get better, so that way their small daily gains become a large gain over time. Lastly, be humble. Please let your actions speak louder than your words. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to subscribe for future videos. Be safe, do work, and go practice.